Hello and welcome to another MTD podcast. This is MTDCNC On The Road. This is the podcast that's filmed and broadcast every Friday evening at 6 p.m. We talk about everything we've been up to in the week that's just elapsed and what we're going to be doing in the days and weeks to come. I'm always joined by compatriots. Today I've got Gio and Colin with me. Good afternoon. Let's start with you, Gio. I haven't seen you for a couple of weeks.
No,
You all right?
yeah,
well, I know
good.
I did.
No,
I saw you Monday. But I've not seen you here on this set for a couple of weeks.
Paul, all right?
Yeah, pretty good. Yeah, you all right?
I'm very well, thank you.
You're over the... well, you shouldn't be over the football. You were quite happy with the...
I thought it was a brilliant game.
Shut up.
We'll come to you.
Very close, very close.
Shut up.
I saw Dominic Seminario yesterday. I was talking to him
What
about
did he
it.
think about the
But
game?
he was come on England, but all his family of it were rooting for Italy. So he said there was a little bit of unrest in the camp. Colin, you're right. You look at what you've been up to today.
Well, it's apt you say MTD on the road because I've been on the road in my bike on my bike. So I'm the Chris Froome.
Broom handle. Where have you been then on your bike today?
Down the shop, get a beer, get a pie, come home. Car was being MOT'd in service, so I dropped it off, cycled home, cycled there, picked up, and then came straight to this recording.
Have you got a proper road bike? Is it?
I have a proper road bike and a mountain bike.
Yeah. Do you use the old cleats for your?
Don't
feet?
use language like that on this. Yes, I do. Look, there you go. I know it's all good, but there they are.
And have you ever got into a bit of an awkward situation when you've come to a junction?
I've got into loads of awkward situations at junctions. No, but my brother has. He said he came to the lights, went red, and he couldn't unclip it. He just went sideways
I've
left.
seen people do
and some
this.
bloke opened the window, goes, "You're right, mate," and he just said, "Leave me alone." He was just absolutely mortified. He was so embarrassed.
I did that the other week while I was running, not with the cleats. I actually fell over while I was running.
Fall
I
over
went
when you're running.
I was wearing a different pair of shoes because I didn't have my running
Clogs.
shoes. And I fell over and I just went over like a sack of potatoes. And the first thing I did is I got up and I was like, just looking around. Did anyone see it? Fortunately, no one did. So
Can I just? I don't think you just called us compatriots. I'm not comfortable with that sort of language on the show that people are going to be hearing.
What would you suggest?
I don't know, but compatriots, is that?
Colleagues, maybe. So coming up in this week's show, we've been at, and we're going to be talking about Superstar Components, which we were at on Monday, Blue Diamond Engineering on Tuesday, Hoffman, Gio was there this week. We were at Bistronic, Matsura, Lister Shearing's, Sodic, LBC, Beechwood and Hella. These are all the topics of conversation that we're going to be discussing in this week's broadcast. But in the news in general, the pingdemic, have either of you two pingdemic?
I'm double check.
600,000 people been...
No, it's more than that. It's 1.3 million this morning.
But in a week.
Oh, in a week.
In a week. 600,000 people. Apparently there's going to be food shortages now. As a result of this, but don't go out panic buying.
Don't take it the wrong way, Paul. It's not going to be a problem, is it, really, mate?
Well, that's what I've got on my notes to say that about you, actually. Tokyo Games was in doubt, but I believe it's actually started today.
It is.
And that's quite apt, actually, because it's the only reason that you're here, isn't it? Because otherwise you would have been competing if it was in doubt.
Okay, well, and what
And
event
what would be
I...
your field of expertise?
what would I be doing in the Olympics? Watching it, I think that's about as fun. I'd be with Tom Daly doing the synchronised diving.
And Gio, if you were in it, what would be your event? Now remember, horse racing doesn't come into
Boxing.
Yeah.
All
All right, okay.
Oh, is that where the double jab comes in?
Left and right. Also in the news, a 3% pay rise for the NHS.
Good.
What do you think of that? Yeah, should it not be more?
Absolutely.
I mean, if a doctor had to examine your needs, they'd want to be paid more.
Well,
than
the last one needed more than 10% pay rise for what he was doing. I think...
Did you get rid of those warts?
It was worse than that, but it's all cleared up now. But I know it's not a political debate.
Your brother
NHS.
used to compare your warts with your favourite food, didn't he? Which was your favourite pudding?
And what was that?
Spotted dick.
Well, no, it's more like Rice Krispies. Honestly,
But no,
that's disgusting.
it's a bit of a contentious issue, this 3% pay rise. Obviously deserve a lot after what they've been through in the last year or so. But in manufacturing this week, factory output, employment and orders rising at their fastest rate for almost 50 years.
Where did you see that information?
So as always on the MTD MFG channel, of course you can listen to the Great British Manufacturing Podcast, which is hosted by Joe Reynolds and Jefferson on a Thursday. But there's loads of good stories in manufacturing. Of course, we're going to be talking about the machining side and the engineering company side in today's show. But that's really good. In fact, a survey of over 250 manufacturing businesses reported output increasing in 16 out of 17 subsectors, which obviously includes the ones that we know about in general, like motor vehicles, transport equipment, food, drink, and one that's close to your home, tobacco, or used to be.
No, I haven't had a cigarette for at least 10 minutes, but drink, I'm happy with that. But can I say, those statistics in terms of output and things like that, was that from the ONS Office of National Statistics?
I couldn't tell you. You'd need to check on
Why
the
couldn't you
website,
tell me? I
but
think, would
you'd
you
need
sit
to
right
check-
next to me?
you'd
Just
need-
tell me.
You'd need to check on the
Okay,
MTDCNC
because
website, but it's
that is
pretty good news.
pertinent to the MTD EEI, Engineering Economic Indicator, because I've just filmed the results for June. Do they correlate with what you just said?
Probably.
I'm not going to tell you. You've got to watch a video when it's coming out very,
Okay.
very soon.
Okay, well, we do obviously do our own economic indicator, as Colin said, and I can only say from the visits that we've done this week, that should be very encouraging as well.
Yep.
I want to talk about Superstar Components to start with, Gio. Neil Wilkinson there, real entrepreneur, isn't he?
Yeah.
What a great company. So I know you're going to talk, and I'm sorry to cut across you, but I was there about 4 years ago, and then there was only like 3 machines in the machine shop, but now there's a plethora of kit.
Plethora.
I think he only started 10 years ago. So from 10 years ago, when he wasn't even an engineer, he used to kind of dabble in bikes. He used to buy components for bikes from Taiwan and effectively just sell them on the internet. And then when kind of lead times started to become a problem, he thought about starting to manufacture his own. And that's how it all started. And from someone that wasn't an engineer and started from scratch.
Was he not an engineer?
No.
I didn't know that.
He was a physicist.
All these words, you've got physicists and plethora and
What's
all
that?
sorts.
I'm not sure.
You know what a physicist is, don't you?
Can you tell us, enlighten us?
Cans Coke. Physicist. He's a
chemist.
He's into physics.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay. I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
So,
wow, what a journey for him. I mean,
unbelievable.
he do you know he lives in Banbury, doesn't he? But
Yeah.
his actual facility is in Lincoln.
What?
And I mean, he does stop at, I think his family, his mum and dad are from Lincoln, so I think he stays there sometimes in the week. But he does commute a lot as well, backwards and forwards, which is a hell of a
That's a
journey.
long
Yeah. I think the biggest thing that stood out for me from that visit was that, it was everything that we talk about on MTD all the time. If especially on your last swarf, Paul, where it was like kind of fully utilising a VMC. Well, he's not just only fully utilising a VMC. He's fully utilising every single machine tool that he's got there to its absolute maximum capability. Whether that be presenting as many components to the spindle, the correct work holding, the correct tooling, automation. I think
for an engineer that was not an engineer, he's kind of doing everything that engineers should do, isn't he?
But I think it's because he's got no fear. He's got no fear, and he's looking at it and thinking, right, how can I be reduce my cost per part and increase my profitability through what I've got? So he started with his first machine and completely got the absolute most that he could out of that. And then that kind of journey continued throughout his workshop. And I mean, he's got some fantastic machine tools there, hasn't he, Paul?
Yeah, and I don't mean this in a bad way, but the loyalty to one or t'other is not really demonstrated either, is it? I know he's got a couple of Haas machines in there because they've been fantastic for him, but he's also not scared to just go and buy, do you know what? Actually, that machine's right for me. He's got a brother Speedio milled MX 140, I think it is, which is a machine that can turn as well as mill. He's got star sliding head lathes. He's got Doosan turning centres. He's got Matsura MAM machine. Yeah. So when you look at the shop, there's just machines that are dedicated to applications.
Both those things go completely against the grain now, because what you're saying, he's probably come in with a complete open book, whereas an engineer's been in the industry 20, 30 years, so he's not set in his ways, but whereas he's gone, well, I can do this and I can automate this. And also you go to a lot of machine shops, and they are just one machine, whether it's Star or Citizen or Haas or whatever, but he's not blinkered by that, is it? I'm not saying that they're blinkered, but...
No, I think that you're absolutely spot on, because I think that if you go back 10 years, if you'd have been... you think that of engineers at the minute, a very skilled engineer has probably been in the industry 30, 40 years. He's just come into it 10 years ago with completely open eyes, and he listens to people like MTD, where we're saying, right, you need to use automation, you need to have the best work holding. So he's actually embraced technology and believed in technology. But then when you look at companies that maybe have been going 40 years plus, they've got stuck in their ways in a bit, and they've
Or
been
maybe
reluctant to change.
Or just fear of
changing as well.
Okay.
When you look at
Fear
the
of the unknown.
the reason we were actually there was to look at their Haas automated cell, wasn't it? The turning centre, the ST10Y compact turning machine with a gantry loading system on it, which sat very neatly to the left of the machine, but was no bigger than a bar feed. And it just offered him complete unmanned running, didn't it? And for the cost of it, I mean, I can't remember the exact numbers that James and Neil were talking.
Under £100,000. So
Yeah,
you've got
for a cell there that keeps running. You know,
milling
it's-
capability.
Do you see many of
with
those
the Y-axis.
gantry? Because I've not seen the Haas with gantry loader on it. Do you see many?
No,
about?
I think this is the second or the third that they've got into the country. But it's a
right.
new product. It's
It's
a new
well
product.
established in America.
Right, yeah.
Very well established in America, and I think that I think from what they told us, they were waiting for it to be well established in America before they brought it into the UK. And then with Haas being such, they've got quite good technical support in the UK to be able to back that product up. But some of the, I mean, there's a video released on MTDCNC today that shows the full range of Haas machine tools, automation, ancillary equipment, and all the solutions that they offer. So it's worth having a look at that video because it's quite staggering, really.
And they've also got a Fanuc robo drill, which has got an automated pallet system on it, which I forgot about that one because that was where I went.
And that's making the pedals, isn't it?
That's
Paul?
making the pedals, and I love the way he would say, yeah. And if I get this particular contract, I'm having 6 more of those. I really,
Wow.
yeah. And if I get this particular contract, I'm going to get 3 of those because that's the best machine for it, and that's the best solution for that. And so I don't think he gets a project and goes, right, I'm gonna get Haas to quote, I'm gonna get them to quote, I'm gonna get them to quote, and whoever comes with the best price I'm gonna buy. He goes, I know what I need another one of those, and that's what.
So the best machine for that job,
best machine,
not
for
the best
job,
price. Okay.
and the best solution.
I love his business strategy and philosophy. I think it's fantastic. I think he's looking to completely automate everything. I think he's even looking to automate now. His next steps is the dispatch and the fulfillment by putting it through a fulfillment house. So he wants to basically just completely automate the complete process. All of the parts are being sold on e-commerce website, and I love it.
Is he still
I
doing the bike
absolutely love
parts?
I don't think he's buying parts now. He's just making them all.
No, but
now.
he's still making bike parts though, because you said that's when he started. He's still doing that.
Yeah, that's what started him making the parts was that he was struggling with lead times and costs and quality issues from getting them from China or Taiwan. That's what started him making the parts, and now he's got about 6,000 different variants of parts that he's selling,
Right.
which is massive.
So the simple answer to my question is yes.
He is, yes.
He is, but
And
I
I
think
think
he's also doing some subcontract work as well.
Right.
He's using his what he's learned in the traditional sense for his product to go into other sectors and actually subcontract work, and he's very, very competitive with it as well, which is why he wins business, understandably so. There's only a few of them there, isn't there? But there's all these machines, and
It's all automated and
just
brilliant.
churning parts out. And that was a great visit. I think the highlight for Ian on that was the fact he left at 5:30 p.m. after you. I phoned him up. He was in the car. I said, Ian, we booked a table at the restaurant because we were staying up north for 7:30. And he says, oh, no, I'm going to make that. He says, I've just left and I'm bloody starving. He says, I've only had 2 bananas all day.
He had an ice cream as well.
Oh, he had an ice cream.
ice
And he
cream.
was offered a non-alcoholic beer as well, I believe, but he turned that down because he would have rather it have been an alcoholic one.
Tough times.
Yeah, tough times. But it was a really good company. I would encourage you to watch those videos on Superstar Components, which will be coming out in due course. We're also this week at Blue Diamond Engineering. Myself and Mark went to Blue Diamond Engineering to look
The night
at
before had a
Courier.
blue thing, though, didn't it? Didn't you go to was it the Blue Oyster Bar? Because it was it Freedom? It was Freedom Day on Monday.
It was Freedom.
So how free did you get?
Pretty free, yeah. We had a great time. We had a really good meal, prawn linguine with some classic Malbec, as we always have.
Malbec, that's a car.
And then we went to
Malbec.
restaurant.
Yeah. Well, it was on the menu. And then we went to.
Disgraceful.
We said to Ian. We said, Ian, you've had
You
your
can
2
pay.
bananas. You've had your prawn linguine in your mouth. But do you want to go to a bar? And he was like, no, I'm not going to a bar. I'm going home. So me and Mark did. We went out and had a drink, and it was very very good night.
That is not an MTD video we're going to be showing soon, though, is it?
No,
Okay.
we wouldn't show
Thank
those.
the Lord for that.
We went to Blue Diamond. What a great company this is. I mean, I love it when you go further, when you go north and you see how the size of parts generally tend to change. They get much bigger, don't they? Bigger castings. What are you laughing at? They get much bigger castings, and there they were making the weights for the wind turbines. You know, the things that spin that you see on the sides of the road. They have like balance weights on them that you still.
We went to a company. I know that the shenanigans that we all get up to when we're out and about. There was a guy that commented about when you guys went to, was it Taiwan or one of the exhibitions in Taiwan when you were in that restaurant? You'll get to. Who was it, Paul? It was just.
I think that was Neil.
I think it might have been Neil from Superstar. It just made me laugh
because we make all these videos behind the scenes and stuff. And we were in the Thai restaurant, and I think we were filming all the hot Thai food.
I think I could remember you going to the toilet in the.
Yeah, because that's a classic. Because you go, shall I go left? Or shall I go right?
That's right. Yeah.
And he went, I'll go right, and then walked off left into the ladies.
That was very funny. Yeah. But yeah, they're a really good company. They bought a Courier and a DMG Mori DMU 95, almost £1 million worth of investment, or maybe even over that in the last 12 months on these two machines, both with very different purposes. The Courier Norma 20, which is a big bed mill. With a UAD head on it to get to multiple positions, to give them the ability to machine side faces and do multi-face machining. Before, they were doing it in the old way of going into the machine and undoing the head and tipping it, clamping it so the operator intervention that they used to face was unbelievable.
I don't know the machine. Is it
completely
gantry style?
Travelling column machine. With great open access for loading these big castings and castings. But
castings and castings.
But some of these castings were actually, they were huge, but they were weights that go into the what do you call these wind turbine things? The end of the blade almost to balance it out. So when one's coming down, it needs weight to keep it rotating as well as wind. These are weights they're machined to go in there.
I suppose it's to balance it like you balance a wheel.
Exactly,
are becoming quite popular up north. Is that the same?
Or wind turbines? But wind turbines everywhere, mate.
I think the Courier machines, travelling column bed mills are popular solutions because they've got big working envelopes. This has got over 2 metres where you can secure a part. You've got bigger Y-axes, so you've got over 1 metre in the Y-axes. So for tool makers, mould makers, press tools, or you just want to put more parts on a table, you can obviously do that with the machines.
And Paul, with the DMG Mori DMU 95, the 5th axis machine, I went on their website to check this machine out, and it offers a couple of forms of automation with that machine. Different options, whether with its C-loss control or even hide and hide. What was it equipped with, Paul?
Well, the interesting thing that I found out is Dean was there, or it's Dane or Dean, I can't remember, and you have to forgive me, was there from DMG Mori, and was talking about the fact that the DMG Mori DMU 95 monoblock is a machine that's packaged together with certain options all bolted together from an economies of scale perspective to be a real attractive purchase. The actual machine itself comes, I think it's standard with 60 tools. It's got full 5-axis machining capability, but the thing I really like about these big monoblock machines is their stability. And one of the things the guys say is it doesn't matter what you're machining with one of these 5-axis machines. It can be a huge block of titanium, it can be aluminium. You've got speed, power, you've got 3-year warranty on the spindle. I love the way the trunnion table is configured, so you've got your rotary axes inside of what is a much bigger flatbed machine. So if you wanted to do bigger parts, you can secure them outside of that rotary table.
It's got that kind of knuckle.
That's the monoblock is a trunnion design which is supported either side.
Right, okay.
Yeah. Whereas some of the DMG Mori machines, they take the head to the part. They move the head to the part. So if you've got an axis in the head which tips, you'll get your 5th axis machining by moving the head to wherever the part needs to be. Whereas with a monoblock machine, they're big, they're heavy, they can move the part to the head. So the head is kind of in a fixed position. Does that make sense?
Yeah. No.
Am I explaining that correctly?
Perfect.
I'll tell you what, I think
in terms of automation, the answer to your questions, I don't really know.
So the short answer is no. But in a nutshell, watch the video. That probably will explain it a lot better.
It surprised me because such a big 5th axis machine tool to automate it, like a standard solution from DMG Mori, I thought that was quite impressive because I think that whether that be high volume or low volume, it can be done. And I think that it's, again, another sign of people now have got such great options when they're looking for these solutions. They're available now.
And their control, the CLOS front end is like an app-based programming aid to be for shop floor management and all that sort of stuff as well, which is all part and parcel in the DMG Mori offering. But as for a company, the investment made, they're really good to see in two incredible machines. So it was, great visit. Gio, you had a good bite to eat with your friends at Hoffman as well, didn't you?
It was brilliant, Paul, actually.
What did you have?
I had salmon and pasta. It was like on a bed of pasta. I've never really had anything like that before.
So salmon pasta.
It's actually a whole salmon on like pinny pasta. It was absolutely delicious, really nice.
Pesto sauce on top?
No, it's like a ragu sauce.
Right.
Straight from the
very
jar.
very nice. And it was nice to see John. He's back. And we had some really good discussions about the coming months. From Hoffman are going to be launching some new cutting tool products, which we'll be reviewing on MTD through technical corners and hopefully at an exhibition. We're planning for a live event that's hopefully going to be coming soon.
Can you give us a little teaser on what sort of tools they're going to?
I'm not sure myself. It's not even being revealed to me yet. But they will be coming soon. Apparently very innovative, and there's some new packages that they're going to be offering to end users that we're going to be reporting on as well, which is very exciting.
They've got some great products, because we were at Cutting Blue the other week, and they've got some Hoffman cutting. I think, were they face end mills? I can't remember what tools they were, but he said they are a little bit more, but I think 30% more, but they can cut through the material about 3 times faster. He was absolutely amazed.
And longevity, Colin.
Yeah. No, me or the tools.
Both.
But he was raving about absolutely fantastic products.
It's glad to see that John's well, back in action. Keep well, John. We're also going to talk about, coming up in the show, visits to Hella, Lister Shearings, LBBC, Beechwood, Matsura, Sodic, and plenty of other things about the magazine, which we're going to talk about, which has just hit desks as well. But on the channel this week, so you know, if you do visit the MTDCNC channel on YouTube or the website, you can see videos from Mazak, that was shot at GW Martin, myself and Jason Butler and Richard Blake. Over 8,000 watches on a couple of videos in literally a few days. Gio, great video that's been launched, which we know Leader CNC have had an inquiry for today, was on their DMC Dolly Parton machine, which we spoke about last week. Was it you? Yeah.
Yes, I was there. Dolly Parton, politically incorrect, but
Dolly
very
Parton
good.
Machine, 2,000 watches on that. If you're after, a machine that can provide you with flexibility on higher volumes, just for turning, then this front-facing Dolly Parton style machine is perfect. Twin spindle machine with a gantry. Again, we talk about gantry.
I just think it's a perfect machine for if you're just doing turning. I think it's such good value for money, Paul. We've said it, and with stacking systems either end, it's just a great solution.
Also news on the website from Mill CNC, Horn, Hexagon, Herco, Fanuc, and Prima Power, who are new to MTD CNC. So visit the website to.
So those who don't know Prima Power.
So Prima Power sheet metal.
So press brakes and the like.
Press brakes, but beyond that, really now got into additive manufacturing as well. Wow. Combination machines, if you want to punch, bend, shear, fold. These machines, you can buy machines now. It's a bit like when we went to, was it Euroblack?
Yeah.
You see these machines now where
it's amazing.
They can make cabinets like this in like one machine. It folds there, it punches there.
It does. It pulls it backwards, forwards, turns it round, presses.
Universal.
Completely universal.
But changes, they have automation, changing all the tooling in the throat, or whatever it's called. It's amazing.
Well, we were at Bistronic as well this week, and that's another company
what a
that
showroom
we're
they've got there. And those machines.
Looking forward to doing some work within the coming weeks and months. Colin's got to go to the Isle of Wight though to do a job there, so that's
I've booked a week.
Is that where they do the bike racing there? The motorbike, right?
That's Isle of Man.
Isle of Man.
What are you saying? I'll take my bike. Yeah, I've got all the gear. Give you no idea.
That's called the TT or something, isn't it?
Isle of Man TT, yeah. Because they open it up to just normal people, not proper racers, and invariably 1 or 2 people get killed every year.
Yeah, Ian used to film there as well, didn't he?
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Anyway,
another company we're going to be doing a lot more with in the coming weeks and months. We were at this week, Hella, based in Redditch. We were there, and we'll be looking and talking in more detail about UK manufacturing of machines. They make the horizontals there on site using a flow line system. It's brilliant to be able to go into a factory, and once again, we often have to go overseas to see that, but not here in the UK. You've got Hella and Mazak that are making machines here in the UK.
That was my question. How many machine tool companies are actually manufacturing in the UK? So Mazak, Hella, Heller.
Yeah, there'll be companies that maybe assemble things and stuff like that. But in terms of actually where you can see them machining castings, preparing spindles, putting it all together, putting the controls on the machines, all the calibrate, all of that stuff is done in Redditch for Heller.
Right. Because that's good for supply chain, because at the moment, even very basics, I'm trying to order some stock for MTD on totally separate to machine tools, obviously, just small. 6 months waiting time for these things, and previously it was 2 weeks.
Yeah, this is the problem, isn't it? This is the problem that everyone's facing, not just across industry, but yeah, Heller are making machines there. They're filming a video about corporate style, about how the journey of making a machine and why you should be looking at Heller and what they produce. Mm-hmm. Lister Shearings, Joe was here this week. They're a global leader in, guess what?
Shearing. I visited them years and
Did
years
you?
ago.
Well, you would know
I've
that.
seen
What are they a leading
sheep?
supplier in?
Sheep shearing.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. I visited them. They've been going for such a long. I've seen the video.
So what do they make this for sheep shearing? Just like blades?
Yeah, the blades, and they make the whole shabam, really. Yeah,
Like clippers.
They're like clippers.
But just for sheep.
Thanks, exactly. Yeah.
Wow.
They must be quite big, and they'd give you a quick haircut, wouldn't they? Yeah. So Joe was there. He was talking about the increased tool life. So they're obviously manufacturing these things. Everything from you've got the agricultural industry.
Yeah.
They've just taken delivery of the UK's first Doosan T3600D twin pallet vertical machine, which I'm surprised it's the first one to go into the market. I saw that machine some time ago. I know Doosan do well with all their VMCs, but twin pallets are a good way of increasing productivity, which is clearly what Lister Shearings have done here. So there'll be a good video coming out. I'm hopeful that Joe's gone through the process and we can actually look at what they're making, and then
not now he hasn't. He went with a massive afro and is done.
Perhaps him using them afterwards would be make a good video.
No.
LBC Beechwood, Joe's
LBBC
Beechwood. Joe's there today, exploring DC Swiss tooling solutions. Sodic as well was a visit that Lindsay was at yesterday with Chris Hellier, and I tell you what, they've got some pretty incredible technology, which is just...
Couldn't say innovative, could you?
It's just surfaced. It's on their wire erosion machines. And now, I know you went through an exercise, Colin, some time ago. Really
Look at the state of me. You know I haven't been through exercise.
About EDM, didn't you?
Absolutely.
Sparking, wire
Electronic discharge machining.
Yeah. Have you ever heard of this, right? Wire that spins when it's cutting.
No, I just thought it was like... In very simple terms, I just thought it was a piece of wire, like going through a ball of cheese. And as a simple analogy, not spinning as well.
And it is, but on this machine, it spins.
Why?
Because it gives you a better surface finish. It also gives you a longer lasting of the wire because you're using all the edges.
Oh, that's fair play.
So you imagine if you're cutting that ball of cheese, you're using one edge of the wire, aren't you? Whereas if the wire spins, you're able to use more.
But EDM gives good surface finish anyway, so to improve on that.
So it improves on that, but it also improves the life of the wire, the surface finish, and the accuracy because you're able to control the wire in a much better way.
What about the speed, Paul? I bet I would assume it could be even faster feeds as well.
Yeah, it could be even faster.
But again, EDM, it is fast. Fast is probably not the right word at all. Sorry, that's completely wrong. I'll take a step back. We'll delete that bit.
It's an unmanned process.
It's already accurate and already super good surface finishes. So it's taken it even to a next level.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to polish parts and stuff like that anymore. So it's brilliant. It's set up to 30% saving on the wire as well. And this has never been done before. So new from Sodic. Should be interesting to watch that video.
Sodic or Soditech?
Sodic Machines, which is from Soditech here in the UK. I was then at Matsura yesterday as well with Dominic and Ian Mitchie and Sam. It was good to look at the new MAM 7252V, which is coming out. Now, they're MAM machines we saw them at Superstar Components. They're everywhere, aren't they? I mean, these are machines that have got decades of heritage behind them, have proven themselves time and time again. Now, the 52V is an interesting step for Matsura because it's kind of them developing a machine which is slightly bigger than the 32, but not as big as the 72. It's really bridging a gap. But one of the angles is the MX520. You know how popular the MX520 5-axis machine has been? See Colin looking, I'm thinking MX.
No, I'm thinking. I'm just. I know. It's not wind. I am thinking.
Yeah. I can smell the wood burning from here. Yeah, the MX520 is a 5-axis machine that they introduced a 4-pallet system onto it some time ago, so they could automate the MX520. Sold hundreds of them. I mean, a brilliant machine, accurate, very, very cost effective. It's been one of Matsura's machines that's taken them into a lot of subcontract companies that previously would have thought they couldn't afford a Matsura. Dom used to say, once you can have an MX520, you can touch and feel and taste Matsura. That was his way of saying it, and it's proven many time again that it's taken people to the next level within their business. Now, the Imam 7252V is an extension of the 520 in terms of its capacity, but now in a MAM format. So you've now got 15 pallets instead of the 4, and so it's just. If you bought a 520, the chances are you'd have grown your business. The chances are you'd be then looking at the next step of unmanned lights-out machining, and this will just fit perfectly into that.
Does the 52 relate to the working envelope, which is 520?
Yeah, I think that's
so
right.
I'm presuming
or the table size. I think you can get slightly bigger parts, but yeah.
So the 72
is a much bigger machine, but of course that then costs more. So people go, do you know what? I don't need something that big, but I do need something that could fit in the 520
I think Matsura are doing an unbelievable job, aren't they?
They're everywhere.
They're doing such a fantastic job. You never hear anything bad about Matsura anywhere. That everyone sings their praises, and I think Dom's doing a fantastic job as well.
And the rest, not just Dom.
Well, the whole team. I mean, they're doing an absolutely amazing job.
Mark Cumberland as well down south. I saw him the other week. Do you know what his nickname is?
Sausage.
Yeah, did you know that?
No, I just guessed that.
Yeah.
I guessed that.
What?
Oh, please.
Okay. You never had a Cumberland sausage?
That's not for this programme. Moving on.
So the MTD magazine, the July issue is out and hit desks this week. If you are watching this podcast, which of course you can on YouTube and will be on YouTube, this is the magazine that came out. It's another tremendous edition. 68 pages, I believe, of quality content, which includes stories from the AMRC. It includes stories from when we've been out and about travelling around. I know one specific one, Ashby Engineering, about their Belia machine. Plenty of topical information in there. Also, a good feature on the aerospace sector too, which is obviously at the tip of everyone's tongues at the moment as to when it's going to start motoring again. So if you don't have a copy of this, you can subscribe through the MTDCNC website. It really is a great read. Can
I just say two things? A lot of unique content, because we can do it on the back of our videos, so we're first to market with these stories, which makes it such a great read. The second thing is, I was on a meeting with Lee from Fastems the other day, and he goes, I tell you what, your magazine is market leader by a long
I've heard
way.
that many occasions actually. And it's not surprising, because we do work hard. The guys work hard to produce top quality editorial content. But yeah, you can subscribe to it. You can also listen to it as well, because there's an audio book available. So how good is that? If you can't read like Geo, you can listen to it.
Brutal. Well, if you can't spell like Reese the editor, I've just spotted a couple of typos here. I'm joking. Don't tell. I'm joking, Reese. Of course.
Yeah. So that's available. Tony Gunn. If you do follow Tony, he's been actually in Las Vegas this week.
I wouldn't doubt it.
He's been doing lots of live streams on LinkedIn during his visit to this Las Vegas show. It was all about kind of woodworking, but all the traditional equipment suppliers were still there, because of course what we do isn't just about cutting metal, is it? It's about cutting wood as well. Next week, holidays. Well, I'm off actually for a few days.
Hey, where are you going? Actually, can I just interject there, if you know what that means? Because I got a text this morning about 7 o'clock, woke me up from Geo. Colin, what are we going to do? What are you on about? He goes, just seen a text from Paul that he's scarpered off on holiday. He's had a sudden, last minute thing, and he's gone. What are we going to do? I just thought, I know Geo's here. I thought, what are you on about, you plonker? Anyway, I said, no, you're wrong, mate. Anyway, I checked the text, and it was correct. There was a text that said, you've just got a last minute thing. And then I checked the date. It was about 18 months ago. Honestly. So I went back to bed for another hour.
That group had not been used since last year.
Yeah. So I'm not. I'm not unluckily going abroad next week. I'm actually off for a few days, but I'm actually playing golf at JCB as well on Tuesday. So You better
very nice.
prepare the
avoid that.
prepare the groundsman there. I would say for a few divots with that's the Star
2
GB
divots.
golf
Yeah, you
day.
and Gio playing golf.
I genuinely can't wait for that. We do have other visits in the calendar, but it is certainly quite an off for the summer period. I know you're at Colchester Machine Tool, or you're at Pro Drive next week with Colchester, aren't you? Where they've got a new showroom in the south. But keep tuned to the channel. Any final thoughts?
I've got a couple of quick things because I haven't been much on the road because I've been doing the SSS. You know what SSS is, don't you?
It's an alliteration.
You do learn something, absolutely. The Swarf Slider Special. I've learned so much. And you helped me with it. It's coming out very soon. A lot of work went into it. So big thank yous to, well, I won't say who, you have to watch the show, but I've got a couple of questions. What is another name for a slider?
Swiss Auto.
Anything
Swiss
else?
type.
Any other name?
I do know this, because it's like a man's name, isn't it, or something? Is it
Derek. Yeah, they're called Derek machines. No, absolutely not. I found that's another thing I learned on for this show. So watch a show to find out and legitimately what they're also called and how long apart. I won't ask you, Paul. You should know because you were
2 minutes.
How long apart can you make on a slider? Do you reckon?
I know how long. Bar feed, you can do 3 meters, but the part, I'd say 500 mil length.
Right. Okay. Well, I'm going to say you're wrong.
Or you could feed it through to the second spindle. So you could actually do.
Don't give it all away. Watch a show to find out more. But
3 meters.
You will be surprised. That's wrong, though, Gio. I don't want to put you
I'm
under
looking
pressure.
forward to that show. That will be out in early August.
I'm working
as
hard on
August
it, but I need
feature.
That's
One
other thing, though. Can I haven't finished yet? That alliteration. The EI we mentioned earlier, but there's some I like to think there's some interesting stuff. Do you know that engineering is positive, and it's been positive since we started, which is absolutely fantastic for the industry.
36 minutes ago.
It really is. How do you know that? But a couple of worrying things possibly. All very possible. Inflation is potentially up, which will affect us all. Interest rates potentially going up. They forecast. Well, actually, I won't say you have to watch the EI, but they could be potentially going up.
So, is that a reason to purchase equipment now and get something fixed?
I wouldn't like to give advice on that, but yes.
But interest rates haven't gone up for years.
I thought the interest rates were actually coming down.
No, they're at 0.1 at the moment. The lowest have been forever. I mean,
so what do you genuinely have you hearing on the jungle drums that what they're going to go up to, and when is this going to happen?
No,
do you think?
Paul, don't take this the wrong way. If I knew when they're going up, what they're going up to, I would be doing all sorts of derivatives and things like that, and I'll be sunning myself in Barbados on my third cocktail by now. I'll be a very rich man. I don't know the answer to that, and if I did, toodaloo. No, I'm not going to the loo. I'm toodaloo.
Okay, Gia, any final thoughts from you before I wrap this one up?
No, another positive week. I think it's great to see that engineering, but it's not really, it's picking up, but it's not really gone down, I don't think. I think that, you go out there, the people that have invested, continue to invest, seem to just be going from strength to strength, and it's great to be going around and reporting on all these positive stories.
Good
Brilliant.
stuff. So final thoughts from me. Do you know what the average height of a man is, Gia?
5'8".
No, not your height, Gio. 5'11".
No, it's 5'9" actually.
Is it?
No.
Seriously, I'm 5'7", so not
Yeah,
that bad.
you're too-
5'9". It's not 5'9".
Is that worldwide, obviously?
That's worldwide. Yeah, it takes into
But not in
account
the
China
Netherlands. Do you know what the
and
average height in the Netherlands
It's
is?
taller. It is much taller. It's
6
about
foot.
6 foot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The tallest average nation in the world.
Do you know what the world's biggest dog was, and how much it weighed?
How much was it?
This is incredible. These are just things I actually heard on the radio.
Irish
this week.
wolfhound, and it weighed 8 stone.
No, it's an English Mastiff, and it weighed 343 pounds.
343 pounds.
That
What's
was
that in stone, Paul?
340. That'd be divided by 14, wouldn't it? It would be divided by 14.
20 stone. Over 20 stone.
It'd be big.
You're joking.
25 stone, roughly.
Yeah, that's a big old
That's
dog. Isn't
bigger
it?
than
But the
you and me
biggest
put
dog,
together.
The biggest dog ever, in terms of height, was a Great Dane, which was 7 foot high. Can
Shut
you
up,
imagine?
7
No, seriously.
The only one that stood up, not when it was walking along on all fours.
20.
That'd be a horse. That's a horse. Excuse me, mate. That looks like a...
Seriously, it's 2020. It was recorded 7 foot high. So in standing still, not standing up with its legs in the air.
No, shut up. Horses aren't even that high, apart from their heads.
It was an extreme. It was a big dog.
No, I'm disputing it. I'm going to get straight onto Google.
You have a look. Well, there it is. It's 40 minutes of what we've been up to this week on MTDCNC On The Road. Join us again. Same time next week at 6 o'clock on Friday evening. Thank you very much, guys.
Cheers, Paul.
Thanks for for listening to the MTD podcast. If you found value in this episode, please subscribe and leave a rating and review. Find more episodes on mtdcnc.com.